After 25 years, Larry Gnatzig and Jeff Tucker were looking forward to a retirement filled with travel adventures. But those dreams quickly faded away when Jeff was diagnosed with a form of dementia that Mayo Clinic says can occur as early as age 40.
We've been together for 25 years.
We met online.
I saw his beautiful brown eyes. I said, well, this could be nice. I had hoped one day we could be married. When it became legal, I went to Jeff and said, we can be married now. Would you marry me? And he said yes.
He got these tuxedo t-shirts, and I was happy about that. We both matched. As time went by, I noticed I was getting more quiet. I did a couple of tests, and Larry was telling me things that I didn't notice that I thought was normal. In my mind, this wasn't happening.
Jeff was diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia, which is now called frontotemporal degeneration. The hardest thing I've ever had to do is to tell the love of my life that you have this disease that you're going to die from. Caregiving is the ultimate act of love and resilience.
I love him a whole lot more, but I don't see him as a caregiver. I just see him as my husband. As far as the cooking, he tries. I adore him for that.
I made the dressing, and I'm trying to defend myself. It's not working.
I love your big heart. I love that you give me my space and just being you. I love that. I love you.
I love you.
From Milwaukee, Wisconsin, please welcome Tam Fam, Larry Gnatzig to the show. Larry, thank you so much for being here, and give my love to Jeff from the Tam Fam. So much to talk about here. You faced a lot together as a couple. I read a story where you were featured. You know, here you are, a same-sex couple, an interracial couple, and what you face now is the hardest challenge of them all.
Yes. First, I want to thank you for having me on today. It's been a challenge because of all of those things, being an interracial couple, being a same-sex couple. We've faced a lot of challenges along the way, and we then were offered this diagnosis, and the biggest challenge ever was to say to Jeff, because he didn't understand what the doctor says, and she handed it off to me, well, you tell him. That is a huge challenge, to tell the love of your life they have a disease that they will die from. And so that has been the hardest thing I have ever done. So the challenges that have come after that are a piece of cake. Because I look at it and say, well, I had to do this. Is it what I'm facing now with his health care or with confronting medical professionals? Is this harder than telling Jeff that? No. Go ahead. Go.
You are so strong. I mean, watching you cook with a smile on your face and to see that moment in your personal video diary was so sweet. I'm curious about the language of caregiver and why that's something, at least especially Jeff, does not want as a part of the dialogue there. What is it about the language of caregiver that is one you don't receive?
He sees me more. He just sees things as the way they are now. He doesn't look at me, as he said too, he doesn't look at me as his caregiver. And there's a lot of things that I do in the background that he isn't aware of. And nor does he need to be, about setting things up and making sure things are taken care of. I took care of all the legal things. His importance is that he's comfortable, that we're together, and that's all that it takes for him. So in his space, he has all he needs.
Right.
And in my space, I take care to make sure that he does.
But also in your space, I would imagine it requires you, though, to have the things you need, because if you're not strong, how can you be strong for him? If you're not taking care of your mental health, how can you help take care of him? I know that you had dreams of traveling together as you were entering retirement, and you still try to fulfill that part of the dream. And sometimes that means alone. How is that
Yes.
to not be able to share it with him in the way that you'd planned?
It was a conversation that we had to have because that was one of my dreams, and he chose that he does not want to travel anymore. And his encouragement, a lot of that encouragement came from him. You love to travel, keep doing it.
Mm.
So we got to a point where um, I didn't want to feel guilty about traveling, and he wasn't. And so we had a conversation, and there was one trip I was going to take to Australia. And so this kind of solidified it for me because I said, I'm not sure if I should go. There had been some changes that I noticed, and Jeff said to me at that time, he said, Larry, you love to travel. If something is going to happen to me, it will happen to me whether you're in the living room sitting in that chair or in Australia. Nothing's going to change that part. Go on your trip. And so I went on the trip, and it's really um, refreshing for me to get away
Yeah.
because I get a vacation, Jeff gets a vacation,
Yeah.
because it's not just about me, but it refreshes me, and we take a vacation from each other.
Listen, I just love the story. I love your commitment to one another. And I'm so grateful that you have shared it. I know one of the things that you wanted to pass along for people who are caring with someone, for someone with dementia, is to embrace who they are as they are now and not try to preserve who they used to be. And before I let you go, I just want to let you know how powerful of a message that is to share with others.
Yes, that is one thing I've learned. It's about moving forward where we are in this journey
Mm.
rather than trying to keep going back to
Yeah.
where we were. And it's such a relief and a challenge and a joy. I am not saying that this is easy by any means.
Yeah.
I hate this disease and what it does to make changes, but I also live by the mantra, great things come from doing something we hate for the sake of someone we love.
Ugh.
That's,
That's it. That's it. That is it. Thank you
yeah.
so, so much. And give Jeff my love as well. And I appreciate you. And please keep sharing your journey. So many people will learn from it. Thank you so much, Larry.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me. Thank you for all you do.
Oh,